I am about to review the latest chapter of Berserk, chapter 376. And yeah, let's go through it real quick, alright? So, I'm reading it on a website called Manga Freak. You guys could check it out. But we see in the latest chapter that Guts is in a storm in the astral realm, right? There's like a maelstrom going on. And let me see if I can do this. Wait, how you do? Oh, okay. So, actually, hold on. Let me see if I can clean this up. One second. All right. So, latest chapter here. You see, Guts is in a sea in the astral realm, and he says that he's being swept away. And you see that Shurike, she's there to assist him. And she grabs his hand because I saw this part right here. Then I was like, okay, I have to go live and continue this, right? So she grabs his hand, and then we'll see what happens in the next page, right? Boom. See, he says, what was that? It seems like he's waking up in the prison, okay? So, as you can see, like, he is pretty much locked up right now in confinement. If you guys don't remember the previous chapters, he has already gone through some stuff in terms of dealing with the mental state he's been going through, because what happened was he tried to attack Griffith and he was unable to stop him. So with that being said, Guts is pretty much torn up about everything that's happening. And I guess because of that, he's in between the astral realm and the real world too, because the influence of the demon dog, and it's trying to take over his body, okay? So later on, we see that it seems that Salat, right? Rickett is addressing Salat, it looks here, right? And he's like, what are you doing, right? What is this about locking Guts up in the prison, right? You must release him from the dungeon at once, right? I grew aware of this, Rickett, is what Salat is telling to Rickett now. He's like, hey man, you need to chill out, right? The Black Swordsman Guts was his name. We know him well and how dangerous he is. So leave him to his own devices is out of the question, right? It's not just for our safety, all right, but it's for his own safety as well. Do you understand? Okay. So you see now Rickett and Salat is being, addressed by the Kushna's pretty much magician. This is Dabi, if I remember correctly. And Dabi is he's addressing the issues that's going on right now, right? Which is Shurike being in a deep trance in the astral realm. And he's never seen anything like this. And Rickett even addressed the fact that even this girl is risking it all for Guts, right? And Dabi, the magician, he's very shocked that a young girl such as Shurike is able to dive so deeply into the astral realm. And even though the sun has been up for a while now and everything, she has not waken up. So if you guys remember the previous chapters, Shurike is there. She did this special rites that go into the astral realm and try to figure something out, but we're not too sure as to what is going on. And I'll say this right now, the quality of this chapter is way better than on the level of where Miura usually has the series versus the last few chapters, in my opinion. So, obviously parts of the story need to be fleshed out, but I guess that's something that will be revealed shortly to us anyways, okay? So, pardon me, this is coming from the captain now. We're being led to the palace when, and then Salata saying, peace, we were a bit rough on you before, but I have something to discuss. And pretty much Salat, he's talking to the captain of the ship and saying that pretty much everyone has become refugees and pretty much members of the Kushna army, because hey, part of their policy is like, hey, if you come into their seas and shores, this is what happens, right? And we see that Dabi and Guts is now Rickett is finding out some of the past with Dabi and Guts, and that they fought against each other when General Graneshko is still alive and everything. And Rickett obviously is still being he doesn't know everything that's been happening behind the scenes, so this is something he's being privy to. So you see that Dabi is very interested in the witches and wizards and everything. that came from the fairy island or elf island. The reason why this is important is because they have to fight a war using magic, and magic is going to play a vital role in defeating Griffith if possible, if that's still even a thing. Because as we saw with Guts and everything, fighting Griffith is pretty much like fighting God, right? So, all right. So again, what I spoke about before, you see it's being addressed here by Salat. He's telling Captain and pretty much everyone that, hey, you know, you guys are in our oceans, right? And on the stormy seas, your ship drifted into Kushner waters and your travels came to an end. You're now refugees. Custom dictates that you will serve in our military, right? And this is important because Salat and the Kushners, they're planning to go to war against the Falcon, which is Griffith, okay? And that's going to be seen in the upcoming pages here, as you're going to see, right? Hold on, let's go here. All right. And Salat is here talking to Captain Still. He's like, yeah, we're going to war, right? And he's like, yes, and I suspect you know with whom, which is the Falcon of Light and the Falconia. So again, this guy, if you don't know him, he's Griffith, and that's his crew. That's the Falcon of Light and Falconia. And the Kushna army with the witches now and Guts and the crew of and ships and everything, they're gonna go fight these guys. But obviously, that fight is not looking really good right now because there's no means of defeating these people other than the magic of the witches and stuff. But even their abilities and stuff, compared to Griffith and his army walking through and killing people with swords and arrows and spears and everything, it doesn't look good for Guts's team, right? And Salatis going on to say that the Falcon has the power to change the world down to its fundamental principles, and yet he leads the band of the Falcon in suppressing the demons that run rampant outside of the capital walls, ever expanding the borders of his city, right? Now we've received reports that the Falcon Vanguard forces spotted the Kushner Empire's western borders, right? So pretty much they're seeing that Griffith's armies are coming towards their borders, right? Do you know what that means? Right? He fears that which lies beyond his reason, beyond the demonic. That is why Elf Island was wiped out. But as we already know, the citizens of Elf Island, like at least the magical creature stuff, they went to another realm. They weren't like really wiped out. So we don't know if they are able to come back or whatnot. But pretty much what he's saying is very true. Griffith does fear magic. So we are next, and there's nothing more to lose. And he's absolutely right, right? Salat is very correct on this because Griffith is taking out anyone that could oppose him. And the last person who could oppose him that we know of is Guts, despite the fact that Guts doesn't believe that himself because he's dealing with that mental stress of not being able to protect Casca, right? So that's something he's dealing with, right? And you see here that we move to attack the Falcon of Light. So pretty much the chapter ends with Salat stating that we're going to fight against Griffith and his people. Now, a couple things we need to address in this chapter, okay? So the last few chapters when I was reviewing them and I was looking through them and everything, it was very hard to determine where the story is going to go. That's why, it was hard for me to make videos on this thing because, again, Muriel passed away and, just wanted to make sure this thing was going to continue flowing correctly. But now that it seems like they took a look here in the animation and drawings for this chapter, and they actually seem like the story is more coherent now, it's safe to conclude that several things are happening. Guts is caught in between the astral realm and the real world, so he's going through some evolution right there. Shrike is also in the storm, so she's going through some evolution right there. And a lot of changes are going to need to take place in order for them to have a chance to fight against, obviously, the Falcon of Light, right, which is Griffith. I don't know how that's going to be balanced out, but essentially, the demon dog that's a part of Guts, he needs to be under control. But if you go back and look at the chapters beforehand, you'll see that the demon dog is sitting on chains, but the chains are broken. So I don't know if it's going to be something that happens between Guts and Shirike where they could go and control his inner demon or whatnot. But something needs to happen because at this point in time, I really don't think they have much of a chance against Griffith's forces, right? Even with magic and stuff. If Guts was able to beat those enemies, and Griffith is so much more superior to Guts than he was before because of obviously he's an apostle and God hand member, right? And he has apostles on his side and stuff. I just don't see how Guts' crew is going to get through this without many losses. So you guys tell me what you think, and tell me what you think of the latest chapter 376. It probably was out a couple of days, but I just saw it today, so I just reviewed it. And yeah, you guys tell me what you think and comment down below. What do you think is going to happen for Guts' team? Is Guts going to actually have a chance to save Casca? Is he going to get some new abilities or new powers? Is he going to actually get control of his inner demon? I don't know when the next chapter comes out because it doesn't say, but let's see. Yeah, it doesn't say when the next chapter comes out. So yeah, we'll be waiting for a while. Anyways, take care.